It's not easy to know what is true for you or me at 22, my age. But I guess I'm what I feel and see and hear. Harlem, I hear you. I hear you, hear me. We too. You, me, talk on this page. I hear New York too. Me? Who? Well, I like to eat, sleep, drink, and be in love. I like to work, read, learn, and understand life. I like a pipe for a Christmas present, or records. Bessie, Bop, or Bach. I guess being colored doesn't make me not like the same things other folks like, who are other races. So will my page be colored that I write? Being me, it will not be white, but it will be a part of you, instructor. You are white, yet a part of me, as I am a part of you. That's American. Sometimes perhaps you don't want to be a part of me, nor do I often want to be a part of you. But we are, that's true. As I learn from you, I guess you learn from me, although you're older and white and somewhat more free. This is my page for English B. I picked that poem because it talks about racial identity. It talks about Hugh's identity and how it doesn't affect everything he believes in. It doesn't necessarily shape everything he is a part of, or more so, that one's identity doesn't change who they are, and that certain likes, certain interests can go from boundary to boundary and should not be defined by identity. For a lot of my life, I've been the one black friend, the proof of diversity. In fact, when I was in high school, one of the three black teachers there encouraged me to be an ambassador because they were lacking in black educated representatives. Nancy Leon defines racial capitalism as the economic and social value derived from an individual's racial identity, either by that individual, by other individuals, or by institutions. There was a point in my life where I was being capitalized on. My school, an institution, was using the fact that I was an achieving black woman to attract more students and good publicity. And the best part, they were capitalizing on a part of me that I loathed. I grew up most of my life in white space with a sense of negromachy, living in the pre-emergent phase and being told I was not black. As someone who spent a large portion of my life on the white side of the color line, I heard what was being said in that space. I grew to believe that the stereotypes and the negative connotations of blackness were actually true. As Janet Helms states, I abandoned black as a reference group while accepting whites as such and denying one's ascribed black identity. I let go of my identity because I saw that the white one was more appropriate. I felt that they more aligned with my ideas. My first encounter in the ways that Janet Helms would describe them actually came very recently with the growing issue of police violence and police brutality. I saw very clearly the racism and the prejudice in this nation in a police state or an enforcing agency that was meant to follow justice. And I realized I could no longer deny who I am. Because although it was easy for me to maybe deny that I was anything like the rappers you see on TV or like the way black is portrayed in media, there was no denying that I could be the next Sandra Bland. I could be pulled over by a police officer and end up dead. And for me, that hit home, and that made me realize truly that I was black in this world. Like, there had been many times before where I knew I was black, I knew I was different from other students, but never had it so hit me that I was black in this world, and being black in this world meant I could no longer be passive, because the passiveness, the apathy, it's death. Found that my writing, which I love to do, began to shift more toward racial issues. And I began to immerse myself in just that culture. I began to read more about African Americans, and through the safer news sources, I began to study more of what this culture means. In my personal life, I never really found myself around positive examples of like mature internalized Black people. This led to like my kind of a fractured identity, like what Nancy Leong said, where my identity, what I identified with, I couldn't find external reassurances of it that were positive. Most of them, they range from sort of apathy about race issues, issues regarding Black people, to straight up self-hatred, denying that they were Black. But in the pages of books and in safe media, I saw the strength of African American culture. The power to step up in the face of repeated oppression, and the willingness to step up even when it seems like it's something that's hopeless. I saw that and I realized that's the strength. This video isn't going to show some like great resolution because I've yet to find a resolution with my identity, but I just wanted to share with you personally sort of a glimpse or a clip into my mind and into just the positivity and the encouragement that African American culture can have.